The Temple of Doumu refers to shrines dedicated to the Chinese celestial mother goddess Doumu Yuanjun, whose name means Mother of the Big Dipper. In Chinese religion and cosmology, she is believed to be the divine mother of the Big Dipper stars and one of the highest female deities within Taoism. Temples dedicated to her appear across China, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia, the most famous being located on sacred mountains and ancient temple complexes such as Mount Tai and Mount Wudong, places long associated with celestial worship and Taoist immortality traditions. The origins of Doumu worship go back more than 2,000 years, deeply rooted in early Chinese star religion and the belief that the movements of stars controlled destiny, lifespan, and the harmony of heaven and earth. In ancient Chinese cosmology, the Big Dipper was regarded as the celestial chariot of heaven that regulated time, seasons, and the fate of humans. Therefore, a divine mother who gave birth to these stars naturally became a supreme cosmic figure. Early references to a mother goddess connected to the Big Dipper appeared during the Han Dynasty, when Taoist scholars and court astrologers developed complex systems linking star deities with human fortune, illness, and longevity. During this time, the imperial court sponsored rituals to the northern stars because emperors believed their authority came from heaven's mandate reflected in the sky. Over centuries, the cult of Doumu merged influences from Taoism, folk religion, and even Buddhist iconography, eventually portraying her as a powerful multi-armed goddess seated on a lotus throne, sometimes with 3 eyes symbolizing cosmic wisdom and spiritual vision. One major factor in the development of Doumu temples occurred during the Tang Dynasty, a golden age of religious exchange and temple construction, when Taoism enjoyed strong imperial patronage. Taoist texts from this period, particularly celestial scriptures related to star worship, describe Doumu as the mother of the 9 star gods of the Big Dipper, who governed life, death, karma, and cosmic balance. Devotees believed praying at her temples could extend life, cure illness, and change one's destiny recorded in the heavenly registers. Ritual specialists known as Taoist priests conducted ceremonies called Beidu rites, rituals of the Big Dipper, inside Doumu temples to ask the goddess and her star children to remove misfortune from believers. Architecturally, the earliest Doumu temples followed the traditional Chinese temple layout with a main gate, courtyard, incense pavilion, and central hall where a statue of the goddess stood surrounded by star deities and protective guardians. The halls were often decorated with celestial murals depicting constellations, dragons representing cosmic energy, and Taoist immortals traveling among the stars. During the Song Dynasty, Doumu worship expanded dramatically as Taoist institutions systematized star rituals and compiled scriptures explaining the spiritual hierarchy of heaven. The goddess became associated not only with the Big Dipper, but also with cosmic creation itself. Some myths say she gave birth to all stars and celestial energies, making her a mother of the universe. This elevated status led to the construction of many dedicated temples, especially near major Taoist centers and sacred mountains. Pilgrims traveled long distances to these temples seeking blessings for health, fertility, protection from disasters, and spiritual enlightenment. The image of Doumu also evolved artistically during this time, often depicted with 18 arms holding sacred objects representing cosmic powers, similar to certain Buddhist bodhisattva images, reflecting the blending of Taoist and Buddhist symbolism common in medieval China. In the Ming Dynasty, Taoist cosmology reached a highly organized form and Doumu was officially recognized in religious texts as the supreme mother of the stellar deities. emperor-sponsored restoration of star temples, and included Doumu rituals and state ceremonies designed to maintain harmony between heaven and the empire. Many of the architectural features seen in surviving Doumu temples today date from Ming reconstruction projects, including elaborately carved wooden beams, golden roof tiles, and richly painted ceilings filled with star maps. During festivals, priests performed complex rituals involving incense, chanting, and symbolic offerings to the Big Dipper, while believers wrote their names and birth dates on paper talismans asking the goddess to rewrite their fate in the celestial registers. The Qing dynasty continued these traditions, and Doumu temples became important centers of community worship, where seasonal ceremonies marked the agricultural calendar and cosmic cycles. In folk belief, Doumu was also associated with childbirth, maternal protection, and longevity, so families prayed to her for healthy children and long life. Many temples included side halls dedicated to other Taoist deities such as the Jade Emperor and the Nine Star Lords, forming a celestial court around the Mother Goddess. Some temples were built near observatories or places where priests observed the night sky, reinforcing the connection between ritual practice and astronomy. However, during the 20th century, many traditional temples, including some dedicated to Doumu, were damaged or closed due to political upheavals and anti-religious campaigns. Despite this, devotion to Doumu survived in rural communities and overseas Chinese populations, particularly in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore, where Taoist traditions remained active. Today, several historic Doumu temples have been restored and continue to host ceremonies honoring the Big Dipper stars, especially during important Taoist festivals when believers pray for health and protection. Modern scholars study these temples not only as religious sites, but also as evidence of ancient Chinese cosmology, linking astronomy, mythology, and spiritual practice. The figure of Doumu herself represents a fascinating synthesis of cosmic mother symbolism found across many cultures, an embodiment of the idea that the universe is born from a divine maternal force governing stars, time, and destiny. The Temple of Doumu therefore stands as more than a building. It represents centuries of Chinese spiritual history where observation of the night sky inspired a complex religious system, connecting human life with the movements of the heavens. Through rituals, myths, and temple architecture, generations of devotees express the belief that the cosmos is alive with divine order, and that the Mother of the Stars watches over humanity. Even in modern times, visitors to Doumu temples can witness ancient traditions such as star-lighting ceremonies, chanting of Taoist scriptures, and offerings of incense made beneath images of the Celestial Mother surrounded by the constellations she is said to have created. These practices preserve a worldview that blends astronomy, mythology, and spirituality into a single cultural heritage stretching back more than 2 millennia, making the Temple of Doumu an enduring symbol of humanity's timeless fascination with the stars and the mysteries of the universe.